politics, Health Minister David Clark has admitted breaching the rules of the lockdown. He offered his resignation to Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, who turned it down, although she said she wouldn't have if it wasn't for the exceptional times, and that she's saying that the need for stability in terms of health leadership means that David Clark is retaining his portfolio, but he's been stripped of Associate Finance and demoted to the bottom of Cabinet. Let's bring in our political editor, Jessica Mackay, who is also Team Red, so is on today. Jess, it's so good to have you with us.
That pretty much sums it up, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's where we're at. Isn't this extraordinary? If I felt like I wasn't using that word almost every week at the moment, we've got the situation where the health minister, the person in charge of leading us in this health pandemic, has repeatedly broken the rules. Here. On the Thursday, when this story came out, where we saw that photo of him with his sign-written van on the mountain bike trail, I wondered then if he'd come forward and said, actually, I did this, and now on reflection, I've done this, this and this, whether either offering your resignation or trying to go to the public begging forgiveness on this may have given him some leeway. I doubt it, but that would have been one option to do it, rather than dragging it out for these 4 days, refusing to front.
Yeah. And I was listening to Postgame yesterday, and the Prime Minister was being questioned on the bike ride.
In my live cross, it's the people sitting at home watching this who are making the sacrifices, who are following the rules, who are trying really hard to listen to everything that the Prime Minister and the Health Minister says. And then you've got the Health Minister going and breaking the rules and talking to his wife about it and saying, oh, should we do this? Actually, yeah, we should. We're fine. You can apologise to the Prime Minister. You have to apologise to the public in this. And that's what matters in these situations.
Kia ora koutou. This morning I have formally tendered my resignation as Minister of Health, which has been accepted by the Prime Minister. Serving as Minister of Health has been an absolute privilege, particularly through these extraordinary last few months. It's no secret that health is a challenging portfolio. I have given it my all. But it has become increasingly clear to me that my continuation in the role is distracting from the government's overall response to COVID-19 and the global pandemic. You will recall that I offered my resignation during the Level 4 lockdown in response to mistakes I made in a personal capacity.
Yesterday I received Dr. David Clark's resignation as Health Minister, which I accepted. Last week I had discussions with Dr. Clark. We talked about how important the COVID response was and the need for that to be our primary focus as a government, as a cabinet and as ministers. He reached the conclusion his ongoing presence in the health role was causing too much distraction to the government's ongoing response to COVID-19, an assessment I agree with. David has put the interests of the team ahead of his own. I want to thank him for his service. He delivered a lot in his 3 years as Health Minister and many things that he can be very proud of. This is a complex pandemic that is growing in the rest of the world, so the challenge of responding to it is going to be with us for some time, and we cannot afford any diversions from our objectives. I am appointing Chris Hipkins as the new Health Minister, but will be reassessing after the election. To be clear, David Clark will not be reappointed as Health Minister next term. COVID-19 will be with us for a long time to come. Our response will need to continue for a long time to come. The view that the Minister reached was that his presence in the role was becoming a distraction to what will need to be an ongoing response.